Welcome to Fabulously Flawed with your host, Marni, where Mondays mean motivation, and by Wednesday, we're dishing out dazzling advice with a Newsweek twist. This is your go-to spot for embracing the mess, celebrating the successes, and never letting anyone dull your sparkle. Join us for laughs, life lessons, and a whole lot of fun. Fabulously Flawed, where perfect is overrated and every flaw is fabulous.
Hey, fabulous friends, fabulous listeners, fabulous everybody. I am Marni, and thank you for joining me on Fabulously Flawed. It is my Monday motivational episode. It can be magical. It does not have to be a miserable Monday. It's all mindset. So, look. You're alive. You made it. You are here. You are starting a new week. It's new opportunities. You have a chance from yesterday. Every day's a fresh start. It is also, I don't want to be a little bit dark, but it's something that needs to be spoken about, and that's the reason there is stigma. This is Suicide Prevention Awareness Week. Yesterday was 988's first inaugural 988 Suicide Hotline Crisis Prevention Day. And I was in a parking lot where there is only one sign I've seen here in South Florida that says 988. And I asked people when I interviewed them, which you could see on my YouTube or Facebook, Instagram. And I said, do you guys know what 988 is? No. I said, do you know anyone who's depressed? If it could be you, anyone who's going through sadness? They all were like, yes. Would you mind spreading the word? And they were like, absolutely. So it blew my mind how many people were so not aware of this crisis suicide hotline. And you do not have to be suicidal to call if you are going through a crisis, if you are going through emotional despair and you don't know where to turn. I use them for myself. Before 988 2 years ago, when I would be hysterical and I would be breaking down in that spiraling, dark, horrible place, my family only knew we're going to call the police. You have to stop. And it was, okay, I need help. I do not need handcuffs. So 988 is a godsend, people. For anyone listening, trust me. A year ago, I needed them. I called them and they saved me and they talked me through it. The statistics in 2 years since it launched, it has needed less than 1% needed a mobile crisis unit, meaning people just needed someone to talk to on the other end, which is just mind-blowing how many people have been suffering alone, continue to suffer alone. I will say this till I am blue in the face. Enough with the stigma. Who cares? It is so okay not to be okay. There is nobody on this planet that walks around perpetually happy with no problems. That doesn't exist. We're not robots. It's okay to have sadness. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be disappointed. You can visit those emotions, just do not pack and stay there. So part of life is experiencing emotions, but understanding how to manage them, be aware of them. I know something was triggering me the other day, this specific area that we drive by, and I knew if I was going to go through this area, okay, Marni, we have to go through this area. I know it's a trigger, but now that I'm aware of it, at that moment, when I used to go through this, drive through this area not knowing, I would subconsciously or consciously become bitchy. I would get lost in thought. Now, again, that awareness is just so important. And, you know, I'm not going to talk about this on this episode, but the shooting in Atlanta, the one thing I am grateful for is the father being arrested, because accountability needs to start somewhere. And finally, when you, God forbid, if this has ever happened to anybody, when you have had teenagers, there have been times they've been drinking, they leave the house, they kill somebody, the parents who gave the alcohol, whether they were there or not, they are liable. So if you have children that are not mentally healthy, you are responsible for that. So what everybody I think is guilty of is not healing ourselves, not being aware that mental health exists, not putting our heads in the sands like ostriches and saying, you know what, there is an epidemic going here. There was something by the Surgeon General that said parents are going through a mental health crisis. Children are going through a mental health crisis, and everybody needs to stop, and we need to learn to heal ourselves, love ourselves, stop comparing. For the love of God, please do not look at social media and think, oh my gosh, look at them on the boat. Look at all those girls posing with their peace signs. I can tell you, I watch those girls take pictures. They don't like each other, but it's a photo op. So for the average person looking at it, you're thinking, oh my God, look at those besties on the boat having the best day. I can tell you, you're better off not on the boat with those girls because they're nasty and they're bitchy. It's just what you're perceiving it as. So in that moment, you're thinking your life is crappy, your life sucks, when reality is, do you have a home? You're blessed. Do you have a car? You're blessed. Do you have a job? You're blessed. Do you have family? You're blessed. And I only say that because many times throughout my life, I didn't have any of those: house, parents, family, anything. But do you know what? There's something called resilience. Keep going and never giving up. I mean, somebody asked me the other day about, like, who are you? What do you do? And I said, you know what? I'm a friggin' miracle is what I am. I did not become a statistic. I had more hell thrown at me than anybody should ever have to endure or suffer through. I did not become a statistic, a runaway. I did not go on drugs. All I wanted was just a happy life in the suburbs. That's all I wanted. And I have been knocked down and knocked down hundreds of times. And I keep bouncing back up and bouncing back up. And now I can say at 54 years old, I have seen all of these circles come together. Why things happen. At the time, I wanted to die, or I wanted the pain to die. It's called suicidal ideation. We just will think, I don't want to be here. Why am I here? But you really don't want to go anywhere, but you just want this pain to die, and we will think of any way to get rid of that pain. I'm going to go back to 988. 3 years ago, I did not have 988. I had to call my daughter. She should not have been the person to be my mobile crisis unit. So thank God the resource is there. So I literally wish I could beg every single one of you to tell one person about it. Just one person, because you don't know that you could be saving a life. I know today when I spoke to people, every single one had a family member suffering. They were suffering. Grateful to know 988 was there. So guys, I promise you, there is a beautiful life out there. It's the way you look at it. It's perception. You can go outside. You could say, wow, it's cloudy out. It's not raining. Okay. Or you could go outside and say, ugh, it's cloudy and blah. So it's how we look at everything. I choose to look at life in every positive thing. Even if something bad happens out of it, oh no, I spilled my coffee. The minute that happens, I say, okay, I was being delayed for a reason. If it's out of my control, I can't unspill my coffee. When it's out of your control, okay. And that's where your peace comes from, is being okay if something happens and being okay if something does not happen. And that is just my little Monday motivational. You can have a magical, miraculous day. Do not think, oh, it's Monday, it's miserable. It doesn't have to be. It's a new week, new beginnings. We're starting the burr month, September, October. I mean, it's fall, cozy. It's not pumpkin spice yet, few more days, but fall brings out some sort of inner coziness in all of us. So I hope I made you smile. Hope that you got a little bit out of this episode. I will be doing my solo episodes this week, but I'm going to video them so you can see me sitting here in my studio. And my daughter, Taylor, my spectacular sidekick, is having dental surgery. So she'll be out this week. It'll be just me, but I promise you it'll be fun. And we will talk a lot of pop culture, mental health. Let's heal ourselves. Let's be happy again. And remember to smile. Your smile could change the world, but do not let the world change your smile. Never let anyone burst your bubble. Never let anyone ever, ever, ever dull your sparkle. Thank you guys for listening. I love you so much. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Fabulously Flawed. Remember, every Tuesday and Thursday, it's your time to join Marni and Taylor, the mother-daughter duo that's redefining family time with a twist, putting the fun in dysfunction, one episode at a time. Craving more? Visit us at fabulouslyflawed.com. And don't miss out on the feel-good vibes with our exclusive merch at fabulouslyflawed.net. That's with 2 Ds on Etsy. Keep your sparkles shining and spread that fabulous energy.